Okay, you now learning about strategy and international business. How you can learn and what is the objective of um, learning or knowing or discussing about the strategy and international business. The first objective is you are required to understand the difference between the differences, I think, between the strategy formulation and the strategy implementation in international business. And then the second objective, you need to comprehend the relation among business, corporate, and international strategies. I think multinational corporation, all as well as the um, non-government actors in international relation, it's also included in this objective. You already know that the in non-state actors um, includes not only multinational corporation but also the philanthropy, society, I mean international citizen or global citizens, as well as the philanthropy or organization, the community. They are mixing to each other as the non-state actors. So we will discuss it later why it's quite important to comprehend the relationship between um, that sectors and the business and corporate, as well as the international strategy. The third objective, you will know the inputs into SWOT. I think some of you already know what is SWOT. That's strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats analysis. We will learn it later. And then you need to know the three business level strategies. We will discuss it later. And you are required to understand the difference, not difference, but differences between the three dimensions of corporate strategy. Of course, this is in international arena or international scope or international level. And then the other learning objective of in learning the strategy and international business, you need to comprehend the importance of the economics of scale and economic of scope in corporate strategy, because I think it's quite important. After you're graduate, you need to understand the importance of economic of scale in the global area, and then you need to understand the economic of scope or the corporate strategy in general. And then you need to understand or you need to know the threats of being made in terms of local responsiveness. This is as well as you can relate it this with the economic mercantilist perspective. You know that the economic nationalism, when where well the local the government or the national government in a country try to protect their market to stabilize their own economy. We will discuss it later. Also, you are required to distinguish among multi-domestic, global, and transnational strategies. And the next one, you need to understand how the local environment. This is the local environment. I mean the local custom, the culture, the behavior of the local people. All of these things can impact a firm's international strategy. We will learn how TikTok company try to implement their strategy in Indonesia, and it's compare, and if it is compared to the strategy in India, United States, European country, or even Malaysia and Brunei or Singapore, they're quite different in terms of international strategy in local environment. And also you need to know the 5 elements of the strategy through the strategy of the diamond strategy. I mean, what is this? We will learn it and we will discuss it after this. Wow, there's a lot of the objectives, right? You need also understand the international relationship among the elements in the strategy. I mean the diamond strategy, and you are required to be able to recognize how the strategy The diamond strategy, helps you develop the and articulate the international strategy. And then you know the dimension of the POLC. What is POLC? It's planning, organizing, leading, controlling framework. So we will learn about POLC framework after this. And then you need to also recognize the general input into each POLC dimension. Now we try to understand what is a strategy, because you already know what is international business. And now we will learn what is strategy. We start from strategy formulation. Strategy formulation is the process of deciding what to do, and also called strategizing. For example, because next month you want to go to the class, we will have the offline class. So after years, after months, you are doing your online class. So you need to make your own strategy, how to be eager. How to be encouraged to be able or to get your spirit to get offline class. So you need to make your own strategy, and you need to have the process of deciding what to do. Before starting the offline class, this is the example. The simple example. You need to decide what to do. For example, you need to get up early morning, you need to start your workout, so on and so forth. By starting that what to do, you will understand that strategy. That steps that you need to do to face the offline class will encourage you to be spirit in the class. For example, because the traffic jam is appear in every in every route in Jakarta or in Bekasi right now, so you try to decide what to do to be on time to face the offline class. I ride motorcycle, or I drive car, but I need to get earlier, or I use public transport, so on and so forth. That's steps, or that's what you think to do to get to the offline class. It's also called your strategy. And that's the basic meaning, or the basic definition of the strategy formulation that you do for the offline class. And that's what we call strategy formulation. And the next one, strategy implementation, is the process of performing all the activities necessary to do what has been planned. You already planned whether you want to drive a car or ride motorcycle, or even public transport, using public transport, and then you try to get the process. If you want to ride motorcycle, you just to make sure that the motorcycle has already the petrol, ada bensinnya, and semua perform well. Mesinnya dan segala macam pastikan itu bekerja dengan baik. And then you check it all, and then you make sure that you're ready to use it when it comes to the day of the offline class. That's what we call the strategy implementation. Of course, in the implementation, or in the real fact, it's not as simple as what I tell, because what I told you, that's a simple example that you need to do in your daily life. The strategy that we learn is for the international business, or for the international firm, or we can say the company strategy. So it's far way complicated than what I told you before. And by formulating the strategy, and by implementing the strategy, there will neither can success, or without without the others. The two process are interdependent from the standpoint that implementation should provide information that used to periodically modify the strategy. I mean, you can't implement the strategy if you don't have the formulation. Simply speaking, the step that you think to go to the offline class is the formulation. And when you do the steps, when you do the planning, it's what we call the implementation. So I hope you get understand what is different, the formulation, the implementation. And what I said, that this formulation and the implementation is a part and parcel. They can they can separate it to each other, because you neither can success without the others. It is important to distinguish between the two because the different people are involved in each process. The leader or the leaders of the organization, I mean the company, formulate the strategy. Usually, of course, the head or the leader, they try to formulate the strategy while everyone is responsible for strategy implementation. For example, you have the president class right here, the class president, and she is as a leader try to formulate the strategy how to get involved in every class, or how to get informed in every class. So maybe your leader, your president class, try to make your WhatsApp group, and what the members should do is to join the WhatsApp group. You get what I mean? That's the difference between the formulating strategy and the implementing strategy in a group. I mean, when you try to go to the class, offline class, you try to decide by yourself. I mean, you work on yourself. But when it comes to a group, the formulation is usually met by the leader, and the implementation usually run by the members, or um, everyone in the group. And what is business strategy? The business strategy is the way of the firm or the company goes about achieving its objective within a particular business. So of course, you already know that every corporation, every company, they have the strategy to get profit, to get the objective with a particular business. And then what is corporate strategy? It's the corporate strategy addresses three questions. In what business should we compete? How can the parent company add value to the subsidiaries? Ini maksudnya anak perusahaan, induk perusahaan dengan anak perusahaannya. And then how can diversifying the business or entering a new industry help the company compete in our other industries. Jadi kayak misalkan ada Tokopedia, ada Shopee, Shopee baru masuk, Tokopedia sudah lebih dulu, bagaimana mereka bisa compete di other strategies. Hasil misalkan Tokopedia sama Gojek bersatu jadi GoTo, terus ada financial, something like that. That's what we call corporate strategy. And what is international strategy? This is using corporate strategy to guide the choice of which market, including different countries that a firm competes in. Do you know what does it mean? Tesla misalkan kalau di Amerika itu seperti bagaimana agar fit the market demanding or market needs, tapi kalau di Indonesia itu seperti apa dan bagaimana. That's what we call international strategy. When strategy in the business, in international business, that should, because international business definition is the business that run which need crossing the borders between the country. And the international strategy in international business, of course, they need to cross the border of the country, because the terms is international, or globally speaking. Corporate and business strategy. we already discussed about strategizing. There are corporate strategy and there are business strategy. We already discussed there are several things that should be asked. What business or business should be in corporate business strategy, and what does the parent company added value to subsidiaries. And this is for the below one, the beneath one, the business strategy. Just try to focus on how should we compete with the other competitors in the business. And I think this one. And what is the strategy itself? We try to back the definition or the basic knowledge of the strategy. You need to know when talking about international strategy or international business strategy, you need to know about importing the sale of the product or the service in one country that are sourced in another country. You get what I mean? Like, for example, Apple, we can say that manufactured in China, originally from United States, and that's market in Southeast Asian countries. And also the second one, outsourcing. What does it mean, outsourcing? It means that contracting with a third party to do some of company's work on its behalf. Like in China or in Vietnam, Apple's product, they don't build the manufacture itself. I mean, ketika Apple punya pabrik di China atau di Vietnam, mereka nggak semerta-merta itu adalah punya mereka, terus mereka bangun sendiri, beli tanah sendiri. No, they do some corporation to the other companies inside the country, misalkan Chinese company or a Vietnamese company, and they try to make third party. Do you know? Jadi untuk membentuk seperti itu harus ada pihak ketiga. Agar strategi bisnis yang mereka jalankan itu lebih efisien dan lebih bisa dapat mencapai apa yang diinginkan. And then the third one, offshoring, taking some business function out of the company's country of origin to be performed in another country, generally at a lower cost. International outsourcing to a non-domestic third party. Jadi outsourcing, offshoring, and international outsourcing ini hampir serupa, tapi kalau internasional belum tentu. Misalkan perusahaan tersebut dari Amerika, tapi mereka benar-benar outsource dari Amerika. Bisa jadi dari Singapura atau dari Malaysia yang notabene lebih murah, tapi sebenarnya kualitas juga bisa disamakan dengan parents country atau the main country. I mean, di mana perusahaan tersebut atau produk tersebut berasal. The strategizing process. Strategizing process starts with an organization, mission, and vision. Like mission statement, our organization statement of purpose that describe who the company is and what it does. Seperti misalkan kita kembali ke Tesla. Mission dari Tesla itu adalah membuat sebuah vehicles yang ramah lingkungan dan stop menggunakan fossil fuels untuk menjaga lingkungan kita. Nah, dari seperti ini, strategi mereka itu seperti apa di setiap negara, itu pasti akan berbeda. And as the second point you see here, sometimes mission statements include a summation of the firm's values, because the organization values the shared principles, standards, and the goals that are included in the mission statement or as a spirited statement. Nah, karena dia udah tahu misalkan, oh di Indonesia ternyata pabrik baterai masih kurang. Kita ngomongin masih ke Tesla ya. Bagaimana strategi mereka? Bagaimana misi mereka agar itu bisa menjadi hal yang lumrah di Indonesia. Oh, ajak kerjasama, misalkan lihat cadangan nikel, lihat bagaimana prospek ke depan untuk menjadi negara dengan penghasil batu baterai yang bagus untuk menerapkan ekosistem dari mobil listrik itu tersebut. Nah, masuk ke vision statement, a future-oriented declaration of an organization purpose and aspiration. Misalkan seperti Facebook. Facebook itu mau mengkonekkan semua people, mau mengkonekkan semua orang. That's why the company kayak misalkan itu nggak berbayar, tapi kalau misalkan mau iklan tentu berbayar karena sekarang sudah bisnis modelnya sudah mulai berubah. Tapi biasanya untuk sosial media seperti itu yang punya visi untuk menghubungkan berbagai orang, mereka biasanya itu nggak memiliki suatu hal untuk menagihkan ke penggunanya. Maksud saya, pengguna nggak perlu membayar, karena tujuan mereka adalah connect each people, connect every people in the world. SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis terbagi ke dalam dua hal. Pertama, internal, itu kita bisa analisis strength and weakness yang berasal dari internal organisasi, dan opportunities or threat, kesempatan dan ancaman yang ada atau yang memungkinkan itu adalah biasanya datang dari luar. Dan dari sini itu masuk ke strategic planning yang di-compare dari strategi implementation, like organizing, leading, and controlling, and mission and vision that we have discussed before. This is the process of the SWOT with some of the internal and in the organization analysis using SWOT strategy is formulated into a strategy plan. A strategic management. This SWOT analysis is a strategic management tools that help organization or company to take stock of its internal characteristic like strengths and weakness. This is to formulate an action plan that builds on what it does well while overcoming or working around the weakness. Jadi by knowing the weakness, you will not, I mean, kalau misalkan dalam hubungan internasional yang realis ya, salah satu strategi terbaik dalam perang adalah mengetahui kelemahan diri kita sendiri. That's what already implemented in the international business as well. By knowing your weakness, the internal weakness, you can try to formulate your strategy to further or to reach your goals. And then the second one is to assess internal environmental condition, opportunities, and threats that favor or threaten the organization strategies. This is of course from the international, I mean from the external external condition. POLC, acronym from planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. This is the framework using to understand and communicate the relationship between strategy formulation and the strategy implementation. So you already know what is POLC, right? That's planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. When you try to formulate the strategy, you try to planning and organizing. And when you try to implement the strategy, you try to leading and controlling the process. And this was the fundamentals of the SWOT analysis. What can we do? What do we want to do? And what might we do? As well as what do others expect to do? So if you try to analyze SWOT analysis after this, or maybe next week, I will ask you to do a SWOT analysis. You need to understand this one, and you need to have these questions. So far, do you have any question? Before we go to, kita baru setengah ya. Masih ada 30 lah. Ini kita baru sampai ke slide 15. Do you have other question? Do you have any question before we continue? Saya sambil ambil minum dulu sebentar ya. Do you have any question?
Belum ada, Sir, mungkin.
Belum ya? Saya lanjut lagi ya. Dari ruang. Oke, the fundamentals of the SWOT analysis. The first is strength and weakness. That's a good strategy to take advantage of strengths and minimize the disadvantage posed by any weaknesses. And sustainable competitive advantage, that's far away. I mean, not really far away. I mean, like we also need to learn about sustainable competitive advantage after this. And what is this? This is a situation where an organization's strengths cannot be easily duplicated or imitated by the other competitors or the other company, nor made redundant or less valuable by changes in the external environment. Ada yang tahu maksudnya apa ini? Jadi misalkan kayak, tunggu saya coba cari contoh atau fokusnya. Mungkin Shopee dan Tokopedia. Perbedaannya, misalkan ternyata Tokopedia menggunakan, memang secara startup mereka menggunakan hal yang sama dalam menjalankan sebuah startup. Jangan sama Tokopedia, tapi sama Bukalapak. Tapi Bukalapak dia menekankan misalkan nasionalismenya, pengembangan UMKM dan segala macam, yang itu sebenarnya nggak bisa diimplementasi atau duplikat sama Shopee. Karena apa? Karena strategi Shopee adalah bagaimana banyak produk di dalam platform tersebut dan banyak yang membeli. Berbeda dengan Bukalapak, walaupun sama platformnya, tapi Bukalapak lebih menekankan pada UMKM dan lain semacamnya. Sehingga strategi mereka satu sama lain, the competitive advantage yang dimiliki satu sama lain itu nggak bisa tertukar atau nggak bisa diimplement satu sama lain. Sekalinya pun bisa, itu akan less valuable. Karena pasti akan banyak yang berubah dari strategi-strategi tersebut. Sehingga dalam menganalisis SWOT itu nggak bisa diperbandingkan. Lalu, apa itu what is the opportunities and the threats in fundamental terms? The opportunities assess the external attractive factors that represent the reason for a business to exist and proper. Jadi, apapun kesempatan atau apapun opportunities itu di-assess the external attractive factors that represent the reason for a business to exist and prosper. And the threats include factors beyond your control that could place the strategy or even the business itself at risk. Jadi ya sebenarnya bisa aja yang kita udah prediksi atau yang sebenarnya kita nggak prediksi, kayak misalkan startup sekarang ini semuanya lagi jatuh bangun. That's one of the threats. Dan mungkin beberapa dari mereka itu startup itu sudah mereka memprediksi bakal ada PHK dan segala macam. Itu pasti mereka sudah analisis, karena kenapa mereka menggunakan, pasti walaupun ada yang lebih advance, pasti di dasarnya mereka menggunakan SWOT analysis. That's a summary of the SWOT analysis. The strength and opportunities. So be raising the question, how can you use your strengths to take advantage of the opportunity? And then the strengths and the traits, it should be questioning how can you take advantage of your strengths to avoid real and potential threats. The weakness and the opportunities, if they are, to analyze that, it should be questioning how can you use your opportunities to overcome the weakness you are experiencing. And when You try to analyze the weakness and the threats. It should be questioning how can you minimize your weaknesses and avoid the threats. Ini nanti kalian bisa baca aja karena percuma juga, maksudnya saya jelasin sekarang kalau misalkan panjang lebar nanti pada saat praktek kalian pasti akan lupa. So I'll share this slides and you can try to understand and try to implement. Nanti kita akan ada sesi latihannya. Nggak sekarang, nggak hari ini, tapi nanti kita akan ada sesi latihan. Next one, the type of business level strategies. Business level strategies are intended to create differences between a firm's position and those of its rivals. And to position itself against its rivals, a company must decide whether to perform activities differently or to perform different activities. You got what this means, right? Perform activities differently. Aktivitasnya sama, misalkan launching produk di TV. Sama aktivitasnya, tapi dengan cara yang berbeda. Oh, di TV, tapi dengan cara membuat konser. Seperti itu ya. Atau perform different activities. Oh, kita menggunakan offline strategic campaign aja. Kita turun ke jalan, kita canvassing, dan lain segala macam. Jadi ini dua hal yang berbeda ya. And then the value chain. This is the sequence of the activities that firm undertakes to create value, including the various steps of the supply chains as well as additional activities such as marketing, sales, and services. Jadi kalau misalkan tadi contohnya, the value chains ini including the marketing, sales, and services itself in the international. Not only in international business actually, but also if you do even the local startup or sub-local startup, you also need marketing, sales, and service. As long as you have the business in service, but also if you just sell something, you also need the service for running the business. This is the value chain figure. Ini digambarkan biar nanti kalau misalkan kalian praktek, kalian akan lebih mudah memahaminya. Misalkan ada service, marketing, sales, outbound logistik, operation, inbound logistik, dan di sini semua mendukung dari yang firm, infrastructure, HR, technology development, and procurement, pengadaan. Ini the value chain yang dikembangkan oleh Porter tahun 1985 dan masih berguna oleh banyak perusahaan sekarang. The type of business level strategies. When deciding on a strategy to pursue, company has a choice of two potential types of competitive advantage: lower cost than competitors, or better quality for which the firm can charge a premium price. You know what I mean? By the formulating strategy to pursue that, hanya banting harga, kalian hanya banting harga, atau kalian menggunakan yang better quality. Jadi misalkan ada handphone, kalian banding harga misalkan dengan mengeluarkan produk Xiaomi, atau kalian mengeluarkan misalkan Tesla phone, handphone yang sedang dirancang oleh Elon Musk sekarang ini, dengan better quality. So you have two types of this. And when it comes to competitive advantage, it is achieved with some scope. What is scope? What does it mean by the scope? That's the range of value chains activities in which a firm or a company is engaged, including the group of product and customer segments served, and the array of geographic markets in which the firm competes. Saya coba simplify. That's quite complicated to understand, I think, for you. It means by defending or by make the difference between the scope in Indonesia. For example, when you try to sell iPhone or Samsung, it's different if you try to make the competitive advantage in Jakarta compared to the rural area in Indonesia. For example, maybe Ambon, NTT, atau Lombok dan lain semacamnya. That's quite different. So kalian you as the strategist people for the business, especially for the international business, except you try to analyze for the national level, you also need to analyze by the scope of the regional level inside the country. This is the type business of the level strategy, cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, and integrate cost leadership and differentiation strategy. What is this? We'll learn it maybe next week. And what is the vertical scope and what is the horizontal scope? This one we will open it again when you have the practice for making SWOT and making strategy for the company. And this one, the types of corporate strategy. There are vertical scope, horizontal scope, and geographical scope. First thing, vertical scope. Vertical scopes is the all activities from the gathering of raw materials to the sale of the finishing product that business goes through to make a product. For example, kimia farma, terus ada juga kayak manufacturing, financing to workshop, so on and so forth. Atau mungkin sepatu, dari kalian nyari bahan, kulitnya, dan segala macam. Dari raw material, dari bahan mentah sampai jadi sebuah produk. Nah, itu vertical scope. Or horizontal scope. Strategy of the horizontal scope is the number of similar business or business activity that the same level of the value chain, like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, expanded into the bottled water business. They were able to take advantage of the skill sets that they already developed in bottling and distribution. Moreover, because bottled water and soft drinks are substitutes for one to another, both appeal to customer with similar demands. Jadi kalau misalkan tadi yang kita bahas dari yang vertical scope itu dari bahan mentah sampai jadi, kalau ini bagaimana segmen pasar atau scope-nya yang diminati masyarakat. Tadi dikasih contoh misalkan Coca-Cola and Pepsi, karena itu adalah produk minuman yang dikemas dalam botol. Jadi mereka dalam pendistribusiannya itu mereka sudah tahu marketnya di antara Pepsi dan Coca-Cola, walaupun sebenarnya mereka sama market dan mereka try to produce the option to have to meet the demands of the public or the demands of the market. The next one is geographical scope. It's the number of different geographical markets in which an organization participates. Like what I told you before, if you are the strategic company leader or staffs in Samsung maybe or in Apple, that's quite different to have the strategy by the geographical scope. I mean like if you try to make strategy in Jakarta compared to Bali or maybe compared to Papua, it's completely different. So that's what we call that strategy by geographical scope. And this one is international strategy. Divide into 3 segments or 3 strategies: multi-domestic, global strategy, and transnational strategy. What is multi-domestic strategy is to maximize local responsiveness by giving decentralizing decision-making authority to local business units in each country. And the global strategy is an international strategy in which the home office centralizes the control decision-making. And what is transnational? An international strategy that combines firm-wide operating efficiency and core competencies with local responsiveness. I don't want to tell this very well. I don't want to tell this very deep because maybe next one I will ask you what is different between multinational, global, and transnational strategy. Dan saya minta nanti beberapa contoh perusahaannya. And this one is for international operation strategy that I told you before. That's the global, trans strategy, international strategy, and multinational strategy. Udah kelihatan di sini, kalian bisa lihat beberapa company-nya like Texas Instruments, Caterpillar, Coca-Cola, Nestle, US Steel, Heinz, McDonald's. Nanti kalian coba pelajari sendiri. Oh, ternyata ini bedanya di sini dari misalkan move material people. Oh, Coca-Cola. And I will ask you maybe nanti the strategy of Starbucks itu seperti apa. Nanti mungkin akan saya tanyakan, yang pasti kalian paham dan sudah mengenal apa itu global strategy, transnational, international, and multi-domestic. And this one is the 5 elements of the strategy. The 5 elements of the strategy is arenas. I mean the place or your market target market. Differentiators, apa yang membuat itu different. Vehicles, it's not only about kendaraan ya, tapi vehicles apa kendaraan tanda kutip yang bisa membawa kalian ke visi atau misi kalian. Staging or pacing, and also economic logic. Ini ada hubungannya dengan price pastinya. This is strategic diamond or diamond strategy. When arena, vehicles, differentiation, and staging, semuanya itu pasti berkaitan dengan economic logic. And when it comes to economic logic, there will be a question: how will returns to be obtained? Like lowest cost through scale advantage, lowest cost through a scope and replication advantage, premium price due to unmatchable service, and premium price due to proprietary product features. Ini kalian nanti bisa sambil baca-baca apa saja yang membedakannya. Ini sudah dibeda-bedakan semua, misalkan kayak differentiators, apa image-nya, customization, price, styling, product. Kalian bisa pelajari lebih dalam, nanti baca satu-satu, karena kenapa saya coba percepat ini, kalau misalkan tidak dipraktekkan, nggak ada praktisnya, pasti kalian lupa dan cuman ini materi dan harus kalian hafal. You don't need to remember, you don't need to memorize this, but you need to understand this. When you understand, you need to remember which step or which question should be raised when it comes to arena, staging, vehicle, differentiator, and economic logic. This one is the 5 elements and international strategies. Ini penjelasannya ya, the question mark-nya between arenas, differentiator, vehicle, staging, and pacing. And this one is how to managing international business with POLC framework, like planning, organizing, leading and controlling yang tadi kita sudah bahas, tapi sini penjelasannya lebih sedikit. And this one is a step of in the planning process: SWOT analysis, establish the organization objective, identify multiple ways, steps, and formulate the steps after identify, and after that monitor the progress. This is the primary types of plan and planning: strategic planning, tactical planning, operation planning. What is different? Strategic planning is most long-range planning, like long-term planning. What is tactical is the time horizon, like 1 to 3 years. Kayak kalau misalkan di Indonesia ini kita punya RPJMN, RPJM, program menengah jangka panjang, program menengah jangka menengah, program pemerintah jangka panjang, program pemerintah jangka menengah, program pemerintah jangka pendek. Sama seperti perusahaan, mereka punya seperti itu. Strategic, tactical, and operation planning. That's short, really short, like less than a year, that should be implemented. This one is the reference that you might find in the paper or in the books, and I think that's all for our meeting or our lecture today. Do you have any question?